The city of Cape Town, at the southern tip of the African continent. Many who live here love it, and many who visit say it's remarkable. There's no doubt that Cape Town is an incredible city, but beyond the beauty is a city of contrasts, between rich and poor, past and present, privilege and inequality.
This is Khayelitsha, a part of Cape Town tourists rarely see. Many of those who live here will never see the wealthy part of the city, while those who do often feel actively left out.
We have one area called Sea Point. You'd find that you, a person coming from Khayelitsha, going to Sea Point, you see how the people would look at you as like you're some kind of a drug dealer or some kind of a gangster that's walking around into their area, into Sea Point and wanting to do something bad. But I mean, why do they have to look at me that way, as if I'm a kind of gangster but I'm just a human being?
One of the biggest challenges facing South Africa is inequality in education.
I've faced from the textbooks. So in the class we are 40 learners. And then you'd find that these 40 learners have to share 4 textbooks.
Vuyo hopes to get into university one day, but he's worried about what that entails.
I come from a working class background where my parents would not afford to get me into a university. If I'm expected to pass at school in grade 12 with a B, I need to have a textbook. And number 2, that if I do not have the requirements that the bursary has to have, that's a step back in my education, because as I said, my parents would not afford me because I'm coming from a working class background.
But challenges persist even for those who do get into university. Many are familiar with South Africa's recent fees must fall protests, and many have spoken out against both the movement and how authorities handle detentions. At the Baxter Theatre in Cape Town, one play has been trying to change perceptions by taking a closer look at what students are going through.
We've always said that we want this play to be an inside eye to the human struggle.
But why has inequality in education become such an issue in recent times? And why has it taken so long to become topical?
I think the reason that it's taken this long for young people to stand up is because we constantly being told, you have nothing to fight for, we fought for you.
Perhaps South Africa is stuck in a mentality, in this time capsule where, and I'm gonna draw from Tankiso's last monologue where she says that I don't want to be like this, you know, I don't want to be seen as this violent kid. It's almost like we are stuck in a capsule where the youth of 1976 fought for education, and now the youth of 2017, 2015, it's like we are those same people but in a different time.
How can South Africa better address inequality in education and beyond? Quinton Pretorius runs several projects in Johannesburg, bringing together wealthy and poorer children, and the results have been encouraging.
A privileged young person will say, you just have to work hard and you'll be successful. But once they start to understand that hard work doesn't always necessarily mean success, and that there's a context associated or attached to their success or their parents' success, it creates space for learning. Once we begin to start seeing these inequalities, we're beginning to see young people create more empathy for one another.
While many young people have to deal with inequality on a daily basis, in schools, in wealthy spaces, in dealing with authority, there is still hope for what South Africa can become. Lindy Mtongana, CGTN, South Africa.